Welcome back to Midday Kentucky, everyone. Well, has your child recently experienced the death of a loved one? Peggy and Kari are here to talk us about how you can actually get through that and the advice that their centres can actually give you. Welcome to the show, my friends.
Thank you.
How are we?
Us.
What a beautiful day outside.
It's gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, how can you give us an idea of how the loss of a loved one can actually affect youngsters?
Well, that's a very complicated question. Death and grief affects the systems of every human being. Your physical, your mental, your emotional, your behavioral, your spiritual. So to say what affects any individual can be any of those. One of the things you do want to look for is isolating, because when you isolate, you feel like you're the only person going through this.
Yep.
And so we know that having folks come in contact with other people in grief is extremely beneficial.
Okay, how do you help a child with the loss, even if you're going through it yourself? How do you step away and be able to help nurture the child?
Very
It's
difficult.
Really, I was going to say that it must be really hard.
Very difficult. One of the things that we generally encourage the parent or guardian to do is to get help for themselves, get support for themselves. Okay. So that's kind of a number one. If the parent's okay, the kid's going to be okay, in my professional experiences. The second thing is you want to seek out kind of resources that help you understand.
Like what?
Well, there's all kinds of things on the internet now. You know, there's a lot of wonderful clips on YouTube. There are websites that are excellent. And then, of course, they're always welcome to contact Bluegrass Care Navigators, which is a community service for grief counseling.
Okay. Well, tell us about your centre, Life Adventure Centre, and what Camp Hope does, and what's the process?
Yeah, so we, at the Life Adventure Center, we're located in Versailles, Kentucky, on a 575-acre property. It's a beautiful farm. We have an equine program, so we do equine-assisted learning activities with Camp Hope attendees. We also have a challenge course with low initiatives and high ropes course, so high outdoor adventure, and we use the experiential education process to help work with Camp Hope in the grief objectives. So we facilitate resiliency and communication and support and trust, and really help to facilitate those grief objectives when we work closely together with Camp Hope.
And that's what I want to say. What is the process of, what are you hoping that the kids can learn from going to this type of event?
So as Peggy mentioned, isolation is something to look for.
So there's other kids their age?
Yes, so it's ages 7 to 17. So
right, okay.
So they're around a community of people that have experienced those same situations, the same loss and grief. And so through these experiential opportunities, the outdoor adventure, the equine-assisted learning, we work through and process gaining support from others, building that community, how to have healthy communication and talk about your feelings.
Yeah, the isolation part is very big, because if you're a kid and you're going to school and there's no one else that's lost a parent, or you know, the beloved grandmother, whatever, you feel very alone. So when you get into a group with a lot of other children that are also in grief, then you learn to put your body and your minds into the physical challenge, and then from that we generalize into, now how can this help you in the world, and how can this help you with your grief? Because grief is a challenge.
Okay, let's just say that it wasn't the parents that are looking at this. Is there somewhere, like as a friend or an aunt or an uncle, are there signs that you'd see, you know, your niece or nephew stepping back and, you know, being unhappy, but they're not talking about it? What are some of those signs that one can look out for?
Well, you just said it, isolating yourself, pulling back, not taking part in activities they used to love, sometimes a little lack of energy, eating, sleeping, you know, all of the kind of normal. And then you have to figure with the personality. So if you've got a child that acts out, well, you're just going to have more of it. If you have a child that withdraws, you're just going to have more of it.
But Peggy, here's the thing that I think about when I'm listening to this, is that you see both parents who are working, okay, and a family member's going through grief. Sometimes it takes quite a while for a parent to see that happening with their kid. Don't you agree? Like, like I wouldn't know as a teacher or as an uncle or aunt, I should say, what I'm looking for if I go and see my niece or nephew or friend. I wouldn't know.
What you sort of look for is a change in behavior, a change in patterns.
Yeah.
So if you know your child and you see them acting differently, but you may not. I mean, that's the one thing about a lot of times you don't see it. And that's why a lot of people will call us and say, I think we're doing okay, but can we come in and have an evaluation or
Thank
an
you, Peggy.
assessment?
Both great information. If you want to find out more information, there it all is up there. Bluegrass, CAD, Navigators. There's Camp Hope. These are the dates that you need to go to. Oh, it's free as well. Register by June 15th.
Absolutely, no
Everyone,
charge.
appreciate that.